You're listening to.
You are listening to.
You're listening.
Yo, what up, bitches? You're listening to Hey Poopy Podcast. Get your shit on.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, the Hey Poopy Podcast with Dave and Ellen.
Yes, we're back.
This is a podcast about poop, farts, and butt health.
Yes, it's everything involved.
It is everything.
And we're back in this goddamn quarantine hole I find myself in. It's just like, I feel like every time we broadcast, it's just like it's like a weird Groundhog Day. Like I can't.
Oh, completely.
It's like a loop. But
yeah,
we do have an amazing special guest with us today, Mr. Jon Gabrus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, Poopies. Thanks for having me.
Yes. And
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, thank you. And this is the Hey Poopy Podcast with
Dave
and Ellen. And this is episode 75, but it'll always be number 2 to us.
We're really
Our
excited about
favorite
this. Yes.
number.
Yeah, I met Gabrus, God, like we were in the same powerlifting class together.
Yeah, did you ever train at CrossFit when it was at the Lyceum? Or
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so then that puts us at like 08 or something like that,
Yeah.
right? 09 having met back in the day?
Yeah, and then we did a powerlifting meet together in Pennsylvania. That was seriously one of the funniest things.
Within reach, I have my medal, by the way.
Oh shit, my medal's in my bedroom where it should be. No,
it was pretty. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
A fellow giant softy,
Oh my God,
a big, strong softy like you. It felt good that there was another one of us out there.
I'd never felt so emasculated at an event ever. It just like we got there and like we're wearing these singlet onesies and like mandatory, and then like just the questions they kept asking us about like power. I knew nothing.
And Dave's being shy here. He was like one of the strongest guys, one of the strongest people at our gym. But then we went to a powerlifting meet and we were like, oh, these are people who really do this.
Oh,
yeah. Like, every one of them was a red-faced, bald dude who was... Me and Dave were like big boys, but these guys could have carried us around like...
Oh, yeah. I felt like I've never felt so small in my life. And on top of that, my favorite part about the whole event was guys were walking around with sniffing ammonia to get pumped up. Yeah. The guy's like, you want some?
That's disgusting.
He's like, you want some of this? I'm like, I'm good, man.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, I'm not even anywhere near, like, I'm not good at trying hard. I don't need like a fucking performance enhancer to like give more effort. I'm barely can get up for this event.
Yeah, I can't believe I was even there. I'm like, this is way beyond my realm of things I want to do. So, but it was hilarious. But anyway, yeah. So
we're also talking. You just brought up one of my poop triggers is athletics. It's like been a nightmare since I was a kid of like having to poop at school before football practice, or when I was on the swim team, it was in the mornings, or like early to get up to drive to a rugby match. Shitting is like, there's not a day that I have to do like a physical event that shitting isn't like the first in my brain. Like that's all I could think about on those days.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Well, actually, speaking of shitting, since you're our guest, like, I mean, Ellen, do you want to do the honors? Like you're
yeah. Since you're our guest, we like to know how your doo-doo. Did you poo today? How your poos been?
My poos have been. They're always on the high number side of the Bristol.
A little loose.
A little more loose.
Oh yeah, I'm loose as a goose in there.
Ooh.
I'm closer to like a 5.5 in there, but like I've gotten a few type 2s in my life, and that's about or type 3s. But really, I'm a 5.5 to a 6 kind of guy.
Yeah,
it's awful. And
I had
like that since I was like 18.
Oh shit! I mean, I feel like before this show, like before I even knew what the fucking Bristol stool chart was, I had like way looser dumps, and I just thought that was normal. I'm like, oh, this is And then when I'd have like a solid one, I'm like, whoa, what's wrong with me? Not realizing that was like the normal thing. So yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I guess, yeah.
I told my doctor, he was like, so any other health issues? I'm like, not really, except like I've had diarrhea for like 20 years. He's like, you could do something about that. He's like, have you tried the exclusion diet? Have you tried? And I was like,
You're like, what's that? You're like, I'm good. As long as it's coming, my thing used to be as long as it's coming out of me, as long as it's getting out. Like I don't want to be being constipated was like my enemy. So I'm like, I don't care what it looks like as long as it's coming out of me. Like, and it's not blood.
I completely agree.
So
I've never been constipated.
Oh,
I haven't been constipated in such a long time, but it's a nightmare.
I have been constipated more in my life than had diarrhea. Like it's just the worst. So diarrhea is a welcome. I welcome it with open
like, come
arms.
on in.
I would kill for diarrhea.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is coming
I had
out.
a friend asked me once, like years ago, he was like, constipation or diarrhea? I was like, diarrhea. And he was like, whoa, you answered that so quickly. And I was like, yeah, because at least it's getting out of me. Like, I don't want it stuck in. So, yeah.
That is the thing I like about diarrhea. I always use this simile. You can really shit fast with like the way my body works sometimes, where I just go over to the toilet and it's like Deadliest Catch when they open the tuna net. Just everything falls out into the toilet.
Deadliest
I gotta wait for like 40 minutes and then I can get out of there. It feels good though when you just get it all out in one shot. You're like, I think I'm good for the day.
Oh yeah. That feeling though, that release is just amazing. Which actually brings me to mind, like I had a pretty loose in the caboose dump this morning. It was not.
And you went running too.
I went running after the fact, yeah. Which, by the way, I almost at one point today during my run, I almost ripped my mask off and just threw it into the street because like I could not you can't breathe. Like no. I just questioned my whole. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like I want to get exercise, but what the fuck? So yeah, it was not. I mean, I kept the goddamn mask on, but it was What is that sound? Is that
That's a garbage truck outside of my house.
Oh.
Is it beeping? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. I mean, we're all quarantined, so I get it.
Oh, I know. It's funny. It's like, what is that noise? Well, Dave, what you're hearing is a garbage truck in West Hollywood, California.
Oh my god! But Ellen, how have your poops been?
Yesterday I made some pretty awesome poo-poos, and I also got my period and woke up and so last night, my first day of my period, I tried to drink myself and smoke myself and eat all the edibles until I'm like in a fucking coma because my cramps are so bad that I literally like I drank almost a full bottle of wine by myself last night on top of edibles and mushrooms and smoking weed. And I Aleve, like a painkiller was thrown in there. And I still woke up at 7 a.m. where it felt like knives and rattlesnakes were trying to attack my stomach. Ugh. And I went back and forth for an hour to the bathroom trying to poop because my stomach was so fucked. And waiting for more edibles and Aleve to kick in. So I haven't really pooped normal today. It was just like, it wasn't even like period diarrhea. It was just like this like pitiful little tiny dews that were popping out to try to alleviate some of the cramps. It was.
Is period diarrhea where your diarrhea wears like a Victorian high collar?
Yes.
Like one of those like weird like jester neck scruff thingies. Yeah,
the big joint, that neck.
Yes. So like Lord and Lady Duke.
Yes, I believe this is a period diarrhea.
Oh, it's so good. We should make that.
I mean, we've talked in the past. There's a hormone called prostaglandin that sheds your uterine lining, and the same hormone sheds your colon and your intestines. So it's the cramps that you get from a period are very similar to diarrhea cramps, but to have them as a combo pack, no bueno.
Yeah, I've been living with a woman for like over a decade, and I now know that there is a time of the month where even your poops are affected by what's going on in your body. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it.
5 days out of the month, I'm just dealing with a completely different version of myself. Okay, see you later.
Yeah.
Whoa. I can't believe we did stand-up comedy about, like, don't you hate when your girl's got a period for, like, 20 years? And meanwhile, it's like, how about what they're dealing with?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I can't even imagine.
I'm cranky when there's, like, a fucking pebble in my shoe. You know, I'm like, I don't know why I'm in such a bad mood. Oh, this small fix here.
If I get a cramp in my foot, I'm like, this is ruining my day. So like that's just for like 20 minutes, maybe, if that. So yeah, I feel for you, Ellen. Ugh.
Yeah. So I haven't made a beautiful doo-doo in like 24 hours. But just reporting in, and I'll probably take a nap after this because I think I'm hungover from trying to inebriate myself.
Well, you did drink a bottle of wine by yourself, so
take a bottle of wine to the dome.
Yeah.
Weird, my shitting is jet black. How frequently have you like gone to like a wine party and drank too much red wine and then forgotten, and then when you wipe, you look at the paper and it's fucking black, and you're like, whoa! Oh yeah. Right. It's
like a flashback. Like, what happened last night? Oh yeah. Never mind. We're good. I'm not rotting inside.
Well, you are with your alcohol poisoning.
Well,
but
yeah. It's
different.
not. Yeah, different.
Yeah,
self-inflicted.
Oh my god.
So, Gabrus, tell us about yourself before we go into how you do.
I've been a real poop has run my life since I was a child. It's either been funny or stressing me personally out. It's always been on my mind, whether I think it's funny or in an anxiety way, or if you guys are pet owners or parents, it seems like main topic of conversation amongst parents is their kids' poop, and if you're a parent own an animal, a main topic of conversation, especially if you're like co-parenting an animal, you're constantly like, he shit this morning, they didn't shit this afternoon, I'm worried about how much their shit looked like, like it's such a fun so I feel like I've been poop obsessed my whole life. I've ruined so many podcasts by just talking about poop on them. So when you reached out and said, do you want to talk about poop on our podcast, a podcast about poop, I was like, you got it.
Yeah, you're welcome here. Your kind's welcome here.
And what do you do for a living besides talking about poop on other people's podcasts?
I got bad news. That is what I do for a living. I'm more or less a professional podcaster. I mean, according to the government, I'm a podcaster. According to myself, I'm an actor, writer, comedian. According to my mom, he does shows out in California.
No, he's being modest. He's a hilarious performer. Like.
Yes, I'm a longtime comedian, actor, writer, whatever you want to call. However, I can. I'm an epic freelancer, but really, I call myself a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doc.
We were watching that first season of what we do in the shadows on FX, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, my wife's like, "Is that Gabrus?" And like, I was like, yeah. I didn't have my glasses on, and I'm like, "Holy shit, that is!" So like, yeah,
that was a great job. I got to work with fucking all that cast, and Taika and Jermaine directed the pilot, which was very fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely love that show. It's one of my favorites right now. It's
so good.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Your part was great though. It was like the whole dock worker. I was like, this is the. It's a good one.
Vampires don't have body temperature, so they can't sign iPads.
Yeah, that was.
That's the conceit of my scene, and I'm having a hard time dealing with.
Yeah, it's well done. It's well done, my friend.
Oh, thanks, bud. So that's what I do for a living. So pooping, ordinarily I can handle it, but sometimes my job requires a 6 a.m. call time somewhere, and then that's when my whole life falls apart. That's where if I can't get up, poop, drink my coffee, poop, and then leave the house with like that needs like that takes those two dumps take over the course of an hour of the morning. So I mean I'm doing other shit. I'm literally pun intended. I'm showering. I'm making breakfast. I'm getting my laying out whatever I gotta do. But if I don't have I can't. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I got to be there at 7 in the morning. Okay, I'll just roll out of bed. Even though I have no hygiene practices, I don't care what I look like, but I just still can't do it because it's all based around my bum. Like even going to the beach, like, oh, I'm just going to go to the beach and get baked today and play Frisbee. For me, it's like wake up an hour before you're supposed to leave, drink coffee, poop, stretch, eat, like do all this stuff to make sure you don't. My whole life is trying to only poop at home, I guess is what I could say. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Minimal pooping outside of the home.
Yes, I'm with you on that one.
I completely agree. I need like 2 to 3 hours between waking up and like leaving the house. I like, and if I don't poop in that time because of stress will totally trigger to keep me like not pooping. And then I'll go on a job and like can't shit for hours until I get home later that day. So I know it's the worst.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm like, I need that moment. I'm usually like first out of bed, like, but it's like if schedule dictates, if I'm traveling, it just throws it all out of whack, and then I'm like fucked, just because it's I don't know.
I ruin vacations with my wife. Like she's like we gotta leave. I'm like we can't leave yet. I need like another. I have to go down to the hotel lobby, get an espresso, smash it, come back up. We have to wait a half hour while before we go on the fucking booze cruise or walking through this. And especially like outside of the States where it's not built for people of size.
Oh yeah,
because I've never benefited so much from just the dumpiness of Americans. But like you go to like you're in Barcelona and you got to fucking drop a heater at a cafe and the bathroom is like this and the chain is like above you to flush. It's like I test I've clogged toilets in my life, so I'm constantly. I have so much anxiety around poop that I have to like test the flush. I have to make sure like the door lock. I have such door lock issues and shit. It's such a nightmare.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
I just like got myself all worked up stressing about that.
Well, since we're on that note, do you got any little stories you want to kick off, or do you want us to? Ellen can start asking some questions, whatever way you want to.
I was thinking poops. I was trying to think of some of my favorite poop stories, and probably one of, classics are shit your pants stories, but I think I shit my pants on the set of the TV show 30 Rock. For a couple of seasons, I played a non-speaking writer on 30 Rock, so I think it's like seasons 3, 4, and 5 or whatever. Whenever they're in the writer's room, there's a couple of people who don't speak, but they're at the table. I was one of those people for a while. We always hung out in the green room together. We would have a lot of downtime, so it was a lot of fucking around, and also tons of free food and coffee. So you're constantly just consuming like whatever's that crafty and smashing free coffees all day. And then like I was doing it, like I was walking out of the green room and I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom to fart. And I made the joke and I lifted a cheek to try to fart.
Oh no!
On the way out of the green room to like for my friends, like the 5 people there. And I sharted a little bit. I was like, oh. And from their perspective, they just saw someone like, hey guys, raise their cheek, face drop, and shot out of the room. So I run into the bathroom. I like take off my underwear and I bury my underwear in the studio bathroom garbage. Just like wrap it in a bunch of paper towels and jam it down the bottom. Wipe my ass a bunch and then put back on the pants with no underwear. I'm clean, but I have no underwear on. And then they're like, Gabrus, come on, they need us. And I come back, the AD is waiting for us in the green room, brings us right onto the set. And he's like, all right, Gabrus, I'm going to place you here in front of Tina. And I'm just forced, for the sake of the scene, to stand right next to Tina Fey, like slightly in front of her. And all I can think about the whole time is like, I just shit my pants. This is brutal. And I'm just standing there like, oh my God. And I'm now freeballing it. And like, due to like, sharting, your underwear is your get out of jail free card.
Yes.
Once you lose your undies, you cannot shart again. Like you're fucked.
The pressure's on, man.
Also, are you like
standing there?
Are you like standing next to Tina Fey, like smelling like? Is it still on me? Like that's what I would be doing.
Oh, I was so concerned that I smelled that I would have like even like now eliminate just even the stress about the fact that I shit my pants, which was high. But the idea of just free balling on set, like in khakis, I'm like, what if I start getting swamp ass or something? Like all of a sudden I'm afraid of like sweat stains or like my pants riding down on without underwear. And I'm like, oh my, everything is like falling apart. Also, I feel like I felt violated. You know, I feel like Law and Order SVU. Like, give me the tinfoil blanket in the back of the ambulance. I just want to sit there sipping tea, being like, God knows what happened out there.
And I'm sure, like, you're probably on set for so long too. It's not like you're just there for like 20 minutes. Like, see you guys. Like,
yeah, no, you're on set for like an hour, and then they're like, okay, go back to your room and hang out for a couple hours. We might need you again.
Oh,
and you're like, oh my God. I'm like, I should have done a man pond, which my brothers and I invented when we were kids, which is like you just wad up toilet paper and slap it into your butt and just go about your day.
Like a cork.
You do it when you've had a particularly brutal shit in the morning and you're like, I don't know if I'm done wiping. You slap a man pond in there. And the grossest thing you could possibly do. Oh. I saw, I'm not going to leave the person out who did this, but it wasn't me, but it was a close loved one of mine. They rolled down their window of their car, like reached into their underwear and like dropped like a fucking wad of toilet paper out their window. I was like, what was that? They were like, it's my man pond. Keep driving.
Oh my God. Oh. You're like, don't touch anything in the car, right?
Yeah.
You're like, my man pond is full.
Gotta wring it out over the fucking sink.
Oh my God. Yeah, poop pressure is real. It definitely is like
it runs my fucking life. If we're traveling, if I gotta wake up early and fly, I've shit at so many, because I travel for work a lot, to doing shows and shit. I've shit at so many airports, and that's the worst place to I literally got like an expensive ass fucking Amex card so that I got first the ability to use the lounge.
Oh yeah,
exclusively for shitting. Like I'm paying like a $600 a year premium so that I could shit at the JFK or the LAX Delta Lounge.
Those lounges are pretty fucking nice.
That's your best bet because some of them have locking stalls. So but if you have to shit in the bathroom like like you're waiting in line and there's just like 12 businessmen just taking fucking steak and IPA dumps, and then you go in like, and the way the men's room is set up in these airports is like there's 4 guys waiting to shit. A dude comes out, clearly just finished shitting, and a dude has to go in right into his fucking the ghost of David Pest. Like you sit right in that dude's fucking ghost.
It's the worst.
Like, the seat's hot, and you're like, oh, the seat is hot.
Yeah, the warm seats are the worst. I took a shit in at LAX once, and it was like against my. I just couldn't make it, and I remember that I've told this on the podcast before, but I got there, and this guy's coming in there. And then he's got his jacket on the floor of the stall, like just laying on the floor. And it like almost made me not want to take a shit because I'm like, how do you not just put it on the hook behind the door, like,
or just over the door,
anywhere, not the floor. Yeah. He just had it laying there on his, and he came out of there like it was no big deal. I just saw him grab it. I'm like, holy shit! That almost
now think about that. That dude puts that jacket back on and sits on the plane.
Yep.
And then you get on the plane after a guy like that, and you don't even like. COVID has really pointed at. Like my wife is a wild germaphobe. I'm not, but COVID has really demonstrated just like how gross anything can be at any given moment.
Oh yeah. You can turn into an OCD germaphobe like instantly by just thinking about it for a couple seconds.
My wife wipes everything down with like Clorox wipes, like when we get on the plane, and now I'm like, "You're a fucking psycho," and now I'm like, "Hey, pass me one."
Oh yeah, we were coming back from Mexico right when all this shit was starting, like just like literally like the day of, like before the lockdown started, and I just remember being on the plane and my wife's like. We had so many wipes, and I'm wiping down the buckle, everything. And I never used to do that, but I'm like, you know what? I can't afford to get sick. I just can't, like, like shits in general, especially in public places, give me like high anxiety. I mean, I'm better at it than I was when I was younger, but it's still like a disaster.
I mean, I travel with a backpack with a camera and all my lighting, my laptop in it. The backpack probably weighs like 50 pounds. And so I don't want to put that on the floor of an airport bathroom. So I literally will wear it on me while I'm trying to do, like, pee or poo in an airport, and I'm like trying to like steady myself because I'm squatting, but I refuse to put that down. Like,
disgusting.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah. You must have fucking diesel quads, Stag, if you're fucking squatting with a weighted backpack over a toilet. Power to you. That shit's some fucking, that's CrossFit. That's
yeah.
Fucking,
That is very CrossFit right there. That seems like a total wad of the day. Oh my God.
But you gotta do it. I don't want those germs on my
it's pretty
fucking
bad.
shit.
I've definitely been out in a public bathroom. I'm like, well, I have whatever disease that I just came out of. Like, I used that when I was younger, that used to be my thing. Like, I used to think I'd always get some transferable STD, something like, just something that someone was
butt crabs or something
like that. I just used to fucking, like, I'd go to do my physicals. I'm like, look, I sat in the toilet the other day and I wasn't sure how clean it was, so I think I might have something. She's like, you're fine.
I carry baby wipes when I travel, and I will cop to. I wipe the seat down and sit on it, and then wipe my ass crack like post shit. But then I also wipe my cheeks, and because I can't. I'm 300 pounds, and I'm like, I'm gonna be in there for a couple of minutes. I can't fucking squat, so I just gotta sit down.
Oh, I'm with you. I wrap that shit like a mummy. I put so much TP on the rim. I mean, even though that's probably not doing anything, but just psychologically, it helps me.
Yeah, you have to build that nest.
Yeah,
build that
I can't.
And you have to put down the splash guard. Like, the splash guard is you put a sheet of paper on the top of the water, so when the dew falls in, it cradles it instead of it splashing up and giving you Poseidon's kiss all over your bare butthole.
Unfortunately for me, my fucking level 7 Bristol dump just sits on the top of the water like oil. It just fucking, it doesn't even.
That's probably why you have. That's probably why you have these loose shits. Yeah. Is that it's just all pure oil.
It's like someone just hit like a fucking like an oil vein or fucking like water pipe. It's like
It's like when you dive into a pool covered in sunscreen. Yeah. You just see it floating at the top.
A little slick. It just rips through that little piece of sheet of paper.
Oy.
Oh my God. So, do you have any other stories?
I will say I saw like one of the questions was like worst like public bathroom shit, but I want to talk about this awesome hack that I had, and I think Stag might not be able to pull this off, but Bird, you might be able to pull this off. The beach shitters here at the Malibu beaches that I hang out at are disgusting. They're like metal. Some of them have the seats ripped off. They're like the push button flushers.
Oh yeah,
it's a disaster. You're better off shitting in the ocean, which is something I did as a child, as a little beach boy. But here it's a little different. You don't want to be the guy shitting in the ocean. So I made my wife stop at the beach bathroom. I went in there and I'm like, I was excited because I was in a bathing suit. I was at the beach, so if I got gross and dirty, I felt like, that's cool, I'm right in the ocean water.
Yeah.
But I went in there, and the bathroom was so small. The stall was so small, but it was concrete walls. And I was like, Jesus, this is giving me claustrophobia, which is another issue I have, especially in toilets. But when I went to go sit on the toilet, I didn't really fit. And then I just realized I kind of just flexed my shoulders or like broadened my shoulders, and I stuck. And so I
wedged yourself into it?
I was like 6 inches over the toilet, but I didn't have to squat at all. My bulk just had me wedged in there.
Oh my God.
Like a fucking pylon. And it was perfect. I never thought of that. I was just like, oh my God, this is comfortable. I'm just kind of like, I'm like in the Temple Grandin hug machine while I'm shitting, and it just feels fucking great.
That's awesome. So you're not exerting yourself at all, except for just.
No, I'm kind of just in a cocoon with shit pouring out of me.
I like that.
I would love that. I have the tiniest shoulders for being a semi-tall person. That would never work for me. But oh my God, I would love that, and I love that Temple Grandin squeezing thing.
Yeah, I like that. That seems very enjoyable to me too. I mean,
we heard about your leg strength, Stag, so maybe you stand on with your backpack on the top of the concrete wall. And shit from like 5 feet in the air, terrifying everyone else in the bathroom.
It is pretty crazy, like trying to take a dump in a small, like every time I have to take a shit somewhere in a small, like an airplane bathroom, which I've done that. It's just like the anxiety getting into that because I'm like, how am I going to do this? It's like there's nowhere to move. And I'm like bumping into the sink with my ass. It's like, it's not fun.
I swear, I feel like they make those bathrooms tiny, not because of space, but just so people can't fuck in them. Because you can barely have one person at a time.
You can barely jerk off in those bathrooms.
Exactly.
boom, 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 boom.
So no Mile High Club. Zero.
Yeah, that doesn't, I don't see why that's even a thing people want to do. I have zero desire to do that. I'm like, I wouldn't even get...
Love to fuck on a plane. No desire to fuck in a plane bathroom.
Yeah. A plane bathroom is pretty disgusting, as is.
Yeah, it's sort of like, you ever see someone like get up with their socks on and then go into the bathroom without putting their socks on a plane, and you're like, no.
You're like, why? Why did you just do that? Like, it's people are animals. Those are the same people that don't wear masks or like, you know, that think this whole thing's a hoax.
Yeah.
Like I walk in airplane bathrooms with socks all the time. It's not a big deal.
I will only do that if they give you the socks.
So then
and then throw those away
there you go.
end, you know?
That makes sense.
That's what those socks are for.
That's fair. I like that.
But otherwise, your own personal socks, bleh, nope.
I'm just so inflexible. I can't even... I'm always amazed that someone even took their shoes off. I'm always like, I can't even get to my... I could take my shoes off, but then I'm like, I can't get these back on. Like I can't, I can't reach down.
That's
to get
why
like,
I've considered going in my socks frequently for the same exact reason. Because once I get my I can get my shoes off with my feet.
Yeah.
Putting them back on requires like standing, bending over, like putting my foot up on the armrest and shit. No one wants to see that.
And if I'm traveling by myself next to someone I don't know, it's like I'm just waiting until we got off this plane because I can't. I'm fucked.
I once rode, this is not poop related, but I once was on a plane and with these fancy like leather boots, I took them off before the flight, and at the end of the flight my feet swelled so much.
No, yes.
I couldn't get my feet back into the shoes, and I was like, never doing that again.
Yes, that's high risk when you wear like tight lace ups or something like that. You could be fucked when you get off. I had gone like a long time without ever pooping on a plane, never wanting to. But then I wrote an article for a website way back in the day where I had to go to Dubai and eat at a Pizza Hut there, eat their eat a cheeseburger pizza from the Dubai Pizza Hut. And on the flight home, the 13-hour flight from United Arab Emirates to New York to JFK, I shit not only for the first time, but for the second time on the plane.
God.
2 shits in one flight. And here's the worst part. I was in the fucking... United Air Emirates has nice planes, decent bathrooms even in coach. I was in there shitting my brains out for like way too long, like home bathroom levels, not like public bathrooms. I come out and there's like 9 people in line. And I'm like, I have to like put my head down and like everyone, I'm just like coming out and I'm like walking past everyone. Luckily I brought headphones in so I can kind of just like put my head down and storm past. I sit back down and I'm humiliated. And then 5 minutes later, my stomach drops and I have to get up and get back in the bathroom line.
Oh my God.
The person at the end of the line was definitely a person I walked past leaving several minutes ago. And I'm like, right back in here. You know, here we go again.
You're like, what's up, man? I'm back. Yeah, what's going on? It's all the action.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire, baby.
Wait, so
have you guys seen that Andre the Giant documentary?
Yes.
Remember, like, when he was so big, like, you're a big guy, Gabrus, but you're not as big as Andre, who literally they had to put a sheet around him and a bucket so he could shit on planes.
Yeah.
I know.
Like,
that's
he was
insane.
Yeah. That's so...
You have to be a major celebrity for a flight attendant to fucking pour a bucket of your shit into the toilet.
Oh my God. And that was back in like the 70s, early 80s. Planes were definitely probably a little bit less convenient.
Oh yeah, planes are definitely smaller now.
Yeah, so like I can't even fucking imagine that flight.
I don't even think Andre could wipe.
Oh, there's no
Right?
way. I mean, I
Probably
even know
not.
that's a good question because like his hands are so like he made a can of beer look like a little baby bottle. So
Yeah.
I mean, him like holding a rolled toilet paper must have looked like it's like he holding a napkin. Like I can't even imagine like what.
Also, just like if it's all proportionate, think about the size of the fucking surface area this guy has to wipe down back there.
Yeah.
It's like fucking cleaning off a fucking Chevy hood. You're gonna definitely leave a fucking dingleberry or two.
He needs like a separate glove, or I don't know if he did because I
You
wouldn't.
need to put on like a terry cloth glove that goes up to your forearm, and you just fucking rub
'cause
it in your.
I wouldn't trust, or maybe he was like. I'm so fascinated by this because like I would assume that like he was not very clean back there.
No, that would be my guess. Like,
And then- You got to wrestle this guy.
Drank, and he was a big drinker. You know, people who drink a lot, you get the shits. Like, ugh.
I stopped drinking beer more or less. Like now, it's like just a celebratory thing. But I used to be a heavy beer drinker, and stopping beer, minimizing gluten, adding probiotics and some psyllium whole husk brought my shit into like manageable. But like I'm so happy where I'm at right now because it used to be like so problematic. Now I'm like confident after my second morning shit that I'm safe for a while. When I previously I wasn't. When previously I would always leave the house going, nope, I didn't get it all.
Didn't get it all
wiping. I got it all wiping, but I didn't get it all out.
Yeah.
And now I know on my clock later on this day is another shit, and I'm not happy about it.
Oh yeah, I've been there so many times. That's me going out for a super long run. We have like these long run days, and I'm like, you have to go to the bathroom again before you leave. Like you can't risk,
bro.
Going
I
out.
trained for a half marathon, and Saturdays was my long run day, and it would be like I want to be on the road by 9 because it takes me 3 hours to run this far.
Yeah.
But then I don't get out of the house till like 11:20 because I'm like, wait, hold on, there might be one like, and then you start like stretching the run. You're like, wait, maybe there's a little more. You take like a big gulp of water, and you're like, no, I'm not done. But the thing is, once you're a mile into the run, your body's like, you go into it, you get a little bit of fight or flight.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit that kind of shut off, but before races, I would have to be running into like porta potties. Which another thing is, it's small, I'm big, it smells, it's disgusting, but I have to go because the option is like shitting my pants, which I can't let that happen while I'm running. It's almost happened, but not yet. Knock on wood.
I played rugby on and off for 10 years, and you'd be like at some other team's pitch in like Monmouth, New Jersey, and you're like, hey, where's the bathroom? And they're like, right there. And it's just an outhouse. And you're like, you have like pre-game jitters, and you've had like a coffee, and like, you're ready to you're all amped up to play. And you're like, well, I gotta go shit in this and like, it's the most humbling thing. Like, you feel like you're like, I'm ready to play a fucking man sport. Then you go into a bathroom and you're like, oh no. You're like crying and sweating. And
I just want to go home. Like, I'm not into this anymore. Oh my God.
What's your favorite brand of toilet paper, and are you an over or under when you put it on the roll?
Oh, I was like, over? Like you go over your ass or whatever? I'm not as strong as a preference as over and under. I like over. I think my wife prefers under, but we have separate bathrooms, which is maybe we have a 1.5 bath. And when we moved out here to California, like 7 years ago, we got, and I was like, holy shit, extra toilet. That's wild. This is going to be cool. Did not realize how important this is for our marriage to last. Holy shit. I highly recommend it if you're in a couple. You don't need 2 showers. 2 toilets is a fucking dream. You never have to shit while your partner's in the shower. You never have to rush your partner because you're turtle heading. Like when I lived in Brooklyn, I pissed in my sink or on my fire escape so many times because my wife is just in the bathroom, and I'm like, I can't bother her while she's shitting because I just woke up.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's like a dream of mine too, having
It is the total dream.
Yeah. And then as for toilet paper, I love that Cottonelle ridged with aloe. The green bag. I got fucking cheddar, so I'm spending it on my butthole. I use wet wipes and fucking Cottonelle, the ridged.
Oh wow, look at you fancy.
Your butthole is spoiled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm pretty efficient. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I only use a little bit of toilet paper. One for like demo, and then one for drying at the end, and then in the middle is polish with my wipe.
Polish.
Oh yeah, you can eat oatmeal out of my asshole after you can eat peanut butter and chocolate out of my ass.
It's that clean. You're like your process is like a car wash. It's like there's a whole comes out sparkling.
My black butt is
there's like
so shiny.
There's like a little gleam, like sparkle effect, sound effect that hits afterwards. I wish I had that. I'd play it right now. Oh my god, that's so good.
And then our favorite question of all, Bristol 7 coming out fast and furious, zero toilet in sight. Are you going to pants it or shit on the floor ground?
Oh, location is the variable there.
You get to pick the location.
If I'm like outside, I'm dropping trow and shitting behind a tree or whatever.
Yeah,
and just fucking letting it rip.
That's correct.
Especially if I could do if it's a strong enough tree that I can kind of use it to support, like grab it and lean back. So I could be in a safe squat to prevent my fucking Jordans from getting covered in my own diarrhea.
Or the best is a fallen tree and you could like sit over it and dangle your butt on the other side.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We had a guest on once who was like, I will never shit my pants. And I was like, what if you're on like the New York City subway? He's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, I'll just pull my shirt up over my head and just drop trow and just take a dump right there. He's like,
I knew someone who had to shit on the Metro North so bad, or maybe it was a subway. They just went in between the cars and like pulled their pants down and just sprayed onto the tracks and shit like that.
My biggest fear with that is like the trains like coming into the station. People are like, "What's up with this dude?"
But you know that's not just a one and done kind of story. We've heard that before, so like people have done it.
Oh, for sure.
Disgusting.
I've peed out in between cars, but never taken a shit.
Yeah,
that just sounds a little dangerous to me. I don't know.
It happens.
By the time I was like 28 or 27, I was like enough of an adult that I was peeing before I left anywhere. Like I never caught myself out, like, because that's always how it is when you're like, especially in California too, where you're like, all right, I kind of have to pee, but I'll just drive home. It's only a half hour from here, and then you get stuck in like an hour and 20 minutes of traffic, and you're pissing in a fucking Poland Spring bottle where the mouth is not wide enough.
Yep,
so you're trying to just aim your urethra into it, and it's a nightmare, and you're pissing all over your lap and seat and stuff.
Oh.
So I'm always peeing before I leave. I'm rarely getting into like a subway with the. But New York. Here's my thing about having to shit in New York. You get that proximity factor where you're like on your train and you're like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna make it home. And then you get off your stop and you're like, ooh, okay. Wish I lived closer to the train. I got 2 blocks to go. And then you're 1 block in and you're like, this is very doable. Then another block and you're like, uh-oh. And then somehow your butthole knows you're putting your key into your door, because then all of a sudden it's like a fucking thriller and the killer is walking slowly towards you and you're like, where am I fucking? And it's like you're trying all the keys and you can't get the door and you're like, and then in those moments when you finally bust into your house, and maybe if you have a roommate or a partner, they're like, oh, hey, how was? And you're like, shut up! And you're like, sprint past them. And there's nothing more humiliating than like you're sitting at like imagining your like partner, your wife is sitting at home and she just is like, hey, and you come in and you're like, sorry! And you're like pulling your pants down in the living room.
Oh, I've done that. There is that sound like when the second you just like, we have a no shoes policy in our house. And I've done that where I've run home. I'm like, I'm just fuck it. I just run into the bathroom and then it just unleash hell. And then she's like, you okay in there? And I'm like, oh my God. And like more, I mean, back in the day, I felt like when we first started living together, I had those crazy shit attacks like that. And my wife would be like, maybe you should go see a doctor about this. This doesn't seem normal. And I'm like, no, this is normal. In my head going, this is.
No, I'm pretty sure. Trust me. I'm pretty sure this is normal.
This is like my normal Wednesday, I think. So, I just gotta let this pass, and then she's like, I just feel like this happens a lot.
I shit my pants once with my keys in my hand, like at the door. I made it I had to shit on the drive home from a friend's house, and I was flying. I was going so dangerously fast down side streets here. Pulled up in front of my house, told my wife, I took my car key off the keychain, said, park the car. I got my keys, and she said she can see me walking up the driveway, sort of like, that tight butt waddle that you do where you're kind of like, it's all hips. It's sort of like weird, like burlesque, like pin-up runway walk.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, and then she said she saw me, and then she saw me go,
oh, just put your head down in shame.
Just drop my head in shame she was like, I know exactly what happened in that moment. And I was like, yep.
Yeah.
So I gotta go in the bathroom and like throw out fucking pants and shit.
It is.
Wait, what does Cheech say in that movie?
Oh, butt cheeks stay together.
Cheeks stay together. Cheeks stay together when he has to poop and he's running to the bathroom. You got to get that sample, Dave.
Yeah. We just watched
together. Cheeks stay together.
Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke movie. That was I forgot about that part. Yeah, it was great.
So that's funny.
Awesome.
Gabrus, do you have any first memories of poop or farts as a kid?
I remember my brother being sent to his room, and I'm older than him, so he must have been like 4 or 5, and I was like 8 or 9 or whatever. And he got sent to his room, and my dad was like, "Don't you dare come out of there," because he was in trouble or whatever. And he like just took a dump in the room. And like I have such a distinct memory. This may be my earliest memory of just seeing like a fucking log on the floor of my, because I think at the time we had separate bedrooms, so it was his bedroom. There was just like a log on the floor, and my dad was like, "What the fuck?" And my brother was like, "You said I wasn't allowed to leave the room." And I was like, and now as an adult, I'm like, I feel like he like taught my dad a lesson. Like my dad's like, "Go in your room and stay there." And my brother's like, "Loophole."
Yeah. He's like, well, where else are we gonna go? Oh my god, the smell.
Stick it.
Have you ever like shit your pants? Well, I mean, you mentioned you started on set, but have you ever been doing like any sporting event stuff while you shit your pants?
No, I've never, because I played football and rugbies, and I was always like afraid to get hit hard and poop myself. Like, but that never happened. The hardest thing was I was on the swim team in high school, and practice was before school, so I was constantly getting out of a like I'd be like swim 100 yards, then get out and be like, "Coach, I have to go to the bath." Like, and I'd just be like on the toilet, freezing in like a Speedo, like dripping chlorine, just like pushing so hard for like one fucking piece of beef jerky to hit the toilet. And I'm like, I guess I gotta go back in the pool, and then you get tired again, and then it happens again and again.
Oh my god! Before school? Okay, what time is it? Like 3 a.m? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, practice was from 6 to 7 a.m.
Oh no, thank you.
I don't know how you didn't fall asleep during class. I'd be like, what?
Hindsight 2020, God bless my fucking mom and the other kids' moms for driving us to swim practice. And the season's the winter, and it's New York, so it's like 5:30 a.m. We're piling into my mom's car to drive to the Freeport Rec Center. My mom is furious that she has to do this.
Oh yeah, holy shit! Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe give your mom some extra love on Mother's Day, because that's
yeah, I gotta remember that. Thanks for driving me at 5:30 in the morning to swim practice. I didn't even want to go. I don't know what was wrong.
Yeah.
What is your best cure for diarrhea or constipation?
Ooh, okay. And this is going to sound cliche coming from me, but cannabis is like my lifesaver for my stomach. Cannabis has really, and a lot of people in my life accuse me of rationalizing my own addictions / lifestyle or whatever, but cannabis really settles my stomach. Whether it actually does anything biological to my stomach, or if my stomach issues and my diarrhea, my poop anxiety is all in my head, weed really knocks it out of there for me. It really helps me. And I don't know the science behind that or anything, but I feel my stomach pains. If I'm feeling like, oh, my stomach feels wonky, I'll take a couple of hits, and whether it's because I forgot about my stomach or because it's an actual cure, it eliminates nausea and like the fear that I'm going to shit.
I completely agree. And like there's so much mind-body connection, so even if it is psychological, fuck it, it works, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. I swear by it. I shit with I haven't taken a shit with a shirt on. Like I do that like so rarely, even in like, public. I've definitely taken my shirt off at friends' houses when I've had to use it. I won't do it at like LAX, but at my own home, I've never shit with a shirt on.
Wow, we had a guest named Keith that mentioned something about that once on a special we did, and I've never tried it, but I've got to try that. It
just feels better. There's like no risk of like anything touching water, right? You know what I mean? It feels cleaner, and there's also something that is kind of humiliating and funny about it when you are taking your shirt off to shit, and if you're dropping your pants all the way to your ankles. You're fully nude on the toilet. You're like, oh, this is wildly unflattering if anyone comes in here.
Never thought to do that, but I'm going to try that. I'm going to try the no shirt. That sounds interesting.
The only time I've come close to that, which is the worst, is when you have to poop mid-shower and you're like sopping wet and you can't, like, it's like you're stuck to the toilet, everything's wet, you're trying to wipe and the paper is falling apart. It's just like,
or sliding. Or you lift the cheek and your cheek slides in the middle and you're like, whoa!
That is the worst. Yeah, getting out of the shower and taking a shit is probably one of my least favorite things to do. It's just
or shitting even right after the shower is like, oh my God.
I've done a thing where I've taken a shower, had a shit, and I'm like, well, I might as well go back in there again. Round 2, taking their shower. Because I just feel dirty for some reason. Like I ruined all the work I just did. I just made progress I just made.
And Gabrus, do you have anything else that you help you with your pooping? Like we know psyllium husk you're really into now, but do you have anything like a bidet or other supplements or sprays to make the poo smell go away?
I have poop. I've been gifted Poopery. I don't really use it that much here because again I have my own toilet, so that's kind of
that's pretty sweet.
It's pretty dope, and it's like a fucking sin bin. It's like the smallest possible bathroom, but it has a window, so you can crack the window. I have a squatty. We have squatty potties on both of our toilets. I don't necessarily need one, but I like it. You know, in emergencies, in a pinch is what I was going to say. So I like it in a pinch. I enjoy. I'm a big fan of wet wipes. I travel with baby wipes, of course. I'm trying to think of any other. I want a bidet. I want to start fucking with a bidet because if that can eliminate baby wipes,
dude,
and I could just use a bidet and toilet paper, be better for the environment. I mean, I've lived in the same apartment for 7 years. Where they have a strict no flushing baby wipes rule. I should delete this part of the podcast when there's a class action lawsuit because West Hollywood's sewers are so backed up.
We'll just be like, who's this joking? We don't use baby wipes.
There are bidets that are just Snap-on that are under $100, easy to install. They're the best.
Like the Tushy lids or whatever. Yeah. I think they went like fucking as fast as home workout equipment when the quarantine.
Yeah,
they did. Once toilet paper ran out, everyone's like, bidets. It's like,
I mean, we have one in our place. It's the best. It does really help because you want to be using less TP anyway. But they got one. Actually, you might know that guy. That one comedian was the face of it. I forgot. I don't know the name of the company, but Rory Scoville.
Yeah, I love Rory.
Yeah, he was like their spokesperson. I forgot the name of the company, but it's like a little bidet, but it's it looks like almost like an iPhone like manufacturer made it, but it's a little it's like a wand. And
it's like the portable bidet.
Yeah, so you can bring when you travel, but you just fill it full of water instead of using up a tank. So you fill it's battery charged. It sits in the back of your toilet or wherever you want in your bathroom, and it's supposed to be like really good because you can just literally bring it wherever you want, and it's just a button, and you can clean your ass out there. So it's a little portable water. It's like a water gun.
Dave.
Yeah.
I have to make potty real bad.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Ellen, did you take a shit?
I did.
I knew
Holy shit.
it. So fast.
I have this thing where when I have to pee so bad, it pushes out poo. I just like miracle.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm jealous.
I was telling Gabrus, like, I go, she's going to come back and either say she took a shit. And I'm like, I'm always fascinated how quick she is. You're just like.
Well, because it's like turtling. It's like.
Damn. I'm like, no, I'm
ready to come out.
Isn't that the best though when you're home and you have to poop and you're like, I'm gonna wait up until like the last spot, you know, like you're like, I'm not gonna work for this one at all. I'm just gonna wait. Where I'm sitting now on this FaceTime call, I'm in my office. My bathroom is on the other side of this wall. So from where I'm sitting to the toilet as a bird flies, 4 feet. I have to go out and around, so maybe 14 feet of travel, like just around the hallway or whatever. I one time was like trying to wait as long as possible, so I was playing a video game on this computer. I was standing like this, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do one more move, and then I'm gonna go to the toilet, and it's gonna be perfect because I have to shit. So, and I shit my pants in my own house, literally. An arm's length from my toilet.
Oh my God.
and solely because it was like Icarus. I just flew too close to the sun.
Yeah.
I got so cocky. Confident that I can make it.
You got cocky.
I talked about that on the last episode that we actually recorded yesterday. But since we've been under quarantine, I got constipated last week and I decided to play with fire and take a couple too many laxatives to really clean out. And the next day I cleaned out 2 huge dumps. And then the third dump happened in my pants because I was playing with fire.
Yeah, and Ellen lives in a railroad apartment, so she's got a kind of a nice little travel to the bathroom too. So.
You can end up shitting your pants in someone else's room.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh my God.
Dream. When I first moved to the city, me and my roommates did that master cleanse diet.
Oh,
we were like fucking around with like the lemon, cayenne pepper, maple syrup thing. And all we read about was, do not leave the house when you do the salt flush, which is like one day of that. You like drink distilled water, whatever it is, you drink salt water and it fucking powers through you. And my roommate drank a bunch and it was like, whatever you do, don't leave the house. He's like, we're low on toilet paper. There's 3 of us here. We all just drank this. Let me go get us toilet paper. He walked out of the door. It was like a cartoon. He walked out of the door and then came right back in. He goes, I shit my pants in the hallway. He was like, I'll be right back. He walked out and just turned around and came back. He's like, I failed. I'm out. Let's go.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
Yeah, playing with. I feel like when you have to poop at home and you like literally wait for that last second, like it's kind of like edging and sex.
Yes.
And it's got to be like the same. There's got to be a term for edging when you have to poop, you know? Like,
yeah, it's got to be like turtling or something. Yeah, it's something like you're running you're holding it all together, and you're like, I'm just waiting.
Oh yeah, it's like,
I mean, this is a disgusting sentence, but when you finally get to take that monster shit, that is like the way a sneeze and is close to an orgasm, a fucking big ass dump that you've been like dying to get out. That's pretty close to an orgasm.
It's like that release is just out of control. You're like, finally, the evil's out of me.
The best. The best.
Like, I'm with you. Sometimes I've taken like shits like that are so big, I just start laughing because it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just like, finally this thing has been giving me such anguish. It's just out of me. And it's just like
the worst though is like when you're sitting on the bowl and you feel like you're making something huge, and then you look and there's like, wait, that's it? Or then vice versa, when you sit on the bowl and it falls out of you so quickly, and then you like look and you're like, oh my God.
And there's like a fucking baby arm in there. You're like, whoa.
It's like a submarine. You're like, what the fuck is this?
My favorite kind of dump, or maybe not my favorite, but top 5. You sit down, you shit, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm done. That doesn't feel completely freeing, but I'm done. So then you're about to start wiping. Then all of a sudden your body's like, and you let out like 200% of what you previously just got out, and you're like, oh hell yeah, dude! It's like the second beat, like the second set of reps. One comes out, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll start wiping. Then the next one, you're like, yes, victory is mine. Yeah.
That's why I like the bidet, because like I sometimes, like, if I feel like there's more up there, I hit myself with the bidet a little bit, and then it's like a little like laser strike, and then it just opens up the fucking dam, and it's just like, oh my god, there was so much more in there.
It's like a little enema.
Yeah, I feel like
enema.
It's like I feel like I'm like there's a miner down there, and just like, well, there's more. He just keeps like, that little pickaxe. He's just like, and then like he just hits that one rock, and then everything spills out.
The oil like strikes gold. It just spray. And it all
we're rich.
And they're all sliding out, like the miners are all riding your dude out of your
all the way out. Yeah, these are the thoughts I have when I go to the bathroom.
The Goonies on the slide and shit.
Totally.
Now there's a car alarm in my house.
Oh my goodness.
You have all the sound effects of like a weird nightclub down there.
I live on the fucking apartment life in LA. You don't get to be on the third floor ever.
Yeah.
Everything's first or second floor.
That's true.
I'm 10 feet away from cars, like racing up and down my street outside this window.
Oh my god.
City life. Perfect for the pandemic, right, fam?
Oh yeah. Tell me about it. We have these two segments. Sorry, Ellen, am I missing anything?
No, just if Gabrus just wants to add anything else before we go into our last two segments.
No, let's get into the segments.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Let's Get Shitty.
Ah, yes. My favorite part of the show. So Gabriel, since you're our guest, if you'd like to go first, you don't have to. We could circle back to you, but if you
I can go first.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Here's my complaint, and it's shit adjacent.
Excellent.
I wish public bathroom handles were universal in how they demonstrated whether or not someone was in the stall. Every bathroom should have the green, red, occupied, vacant. And then that way the onus is on the person inside to say someone is in here. Because there's no bigger stress than having to go up to a handle and try it. You're minimizing the things you want to touch in a public bathroom to begin with. But now you're telling me the only way to find out if someone's shitting in there is to knock and disrupt them or jiggle the handle lightly. Hard enough to find out if it's locked, but light enough not to stress them out. Because also, when you're on the can, the last thing you want to hear is someone trying the handle. Especially in those bathrooms when the door is too far away to reach from sitting.
Oh
and you're
my
like,
God, yes.
What if I didn't lock it? Every time someone touches it, you're like, is that locked? I can't tell if it's up or down. Just give me the fucking sliding deadbolt and people know, or like, just make it default. Like every bathroom door has a deadbolt. So walk up to it and try it. Yeah. It's deadbolted. Someone's in there. It's safe. Yeah. I hate that feeling.
I 100% agree.
It doesn't fully work for either party. The party in the bathroom and the party trying to use the bathroom are both fucked by this system that we're forced to.
Oh yeah.
That was dramatic, but you know what I mean.
I've been on the other side where I thought I locked the door and I didn't, and I had the most insane case of diarrhea at a show at the Bell House, which is here in Brooklyn. No, I'm sorry, it was at Union Hall. That's where it was. Union Hall in Brooklyn. These thin little stalls, but it's far enough that I couldn't reach the door with my arm. I mean, I'm shooting my brains out at this show, and then the whole time I'm like, did I lock the door? As I'm thinking that, this girl opens the door and was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I was just like,
oh no.
Totally, I'm totally in mid shit. Like just.
Not to be completely heteronormative, but a girl makes it even more stressful for some reason. You know what I mean? Like if it's, I don't understand what that is, if it's chivalry or misogyny, but I'd much rather a dude walk in on me shitting than a woman.
I'm with you on that, because if it was a guy, I'd be like, I've been there, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
She looked horrified. And then, of course, I got like all upset. I'm like, well, you ever seen anybody taking a shit before?
Yeah, that's right. You get defensive.
Yeah, I got defensive.
Well, you're the one walking into a bathroom. What do you expect to see?
I got defensive at a public bathroom that my dumb ass couldn't remember to lock the door on. So, shame on me.
No, I completely agree about locks being more universal because I used to go to this when we used to be able to do things like go to a spa and get a massage. And this lock is the tiniest little button that's like underneath the handle, and you just kind of tap it. And it doesn't do anything, and that supposedly locks. And I hate when you tap it and then you go to test it to open it, you turn the handle. So you can't even test if it's locked or not. Yeah. It's like you gotta do so fucking annoying.
You gotta do the cross prayer thing and be like,
like this. And it's one of those bathrooms that's big enough for like a wheelchair to be in it. So of course it's 5 feet away, the door. So if you are sitting there doing anything, I completely agree. Anybody who invents a lock like that should be like just thrown away.
Ellen, do you have anything to complain about?
My Let's Get Shitty is just my waking up at 7 a.m. as I talked about before my check-in. I'm absolutely exhausted today thanks to my period cramps. But
yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry.
So your complaint is biology.
Yeah.
But I'm here. I'm rallying.
You're doing it.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna have fun. But
you already took a shit, so you're one step ahead of the game.
Exactly, mid-show.
Yeah. My Let's Get Shitty the second week in a row with a bullet. Fucking people with no masks, and then getting the fucking attitude when you're like calling them out on it.
Dave, that video you posted on Facebook of the guy and was it Michigan or Wisconsin being like, fuck you, fuck you,
there's a guy
you to all the protesters protesting against this quarantine. They're like, what is going on?
First of all, the fact that, this video I posted, it's amazing. This guy's literally going like, fuck you, selfish fuck you. People are like, what do you mean I'm selfish? He's like, you're out here like, it's the tagline was like, some heroes don't wear capes. This guy should get a fucking medal for this.
Someone drove by me and my wife and called us losers because we were walking with a mask, or for some other, I don't understand, he was just being abusive in some way, but because we had masks on, I think he was like roasting us for like following the rules.
Yeah, it's bad here in New York, man. It's really, really bad. Well,
I think New York and LA has the overlap of like, and I'm going to stereotype here, but 50-year-old plus men, especially immigrants and sons of immigrants, are like, I know exactly what is okay from me. Don't we're talking about the generation that's like, no, I smoke cigarettes every single day. I'm not going to wear a fucking mask. You're like, no, it's not. Yes. We're not. You can't out tough a pandemic. It's not 9/11. We're not like we can't letting the pandemic win is not like, it's not terrorism.
Exactly.
Going to a fucking concert doesn't fight the disease.
I'll show this COVID. I'll show this fucking COVID. No, but like a perfect example of like people's like how amplified people that were already assholes before this stuff have like now just come out of the woodwork. A friend of mine dropped off some herbal medicine, and she, was a friend of mine. We were just like chatting outside, like our 6 feet apart, and this guy walks by, and she's just like, "Hey man, where's your mask?" And the guy's like, "It's in my pocket. I'm 6 feet away from you. Mind your own fucking business." I'm like, "Holy, yeah!" Like literally, just like she's ballsy. She's just like, "Yeah, see, there's people assholes like this." And the guy's like, "Fuck you." That's what I'm being like, dude. Just put your mask on. It's so easy. I'm like, what good is it doing in your pocket?
I saw a meme that was like perfect. It was like, think of your mask as like somebody pees on your leg. If neither of you have pants on and one guy pees on your leg, you get pee all over you. But if you both have pants on, then when he pees on his own leg, it'll be trapped inside of his pants, and you have your pants on as your own mask, and you don't get any pee on you. And it's like, it's just that easy.
No, not for a lot of people. It's not. Like, no. Fuck that.
No, Americans, we're not the best at like being told what to do. Oh. We all know what's best for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so
and then my favorite part is when people get sick. I don't know how this happened. You're like, really? I don't know. I have a few thoughts on that, but so yeah, that's my again.
And this episode's coming out like 2 months later, but like you guys saw Pence walking around in the Mayo Clinic with zero mask on because he said, I wanted to look them in the eyes.
Yeah. I'm like, I think masks can go over your mouth, dude.
I don't care who you are. How do you not look around and see everyone but yourself wearing a mask and not going like, hey, should I throw one on? Like, that's just like, that's like aggressive insolence. Like, there's
completely.
no need to be like that.
I mean, well, that guy is pretty
But like,
stupid
you have
too.
to look them in the eye. Your mask doesn't cover your fucking eyes, moron. And you're in the Mayo Clinic covered in people with COVID.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna get it, motherfucker.
Yeah, we can only pray. Well, we're going to take those problems. We're going to flush them down the toilet. So here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Feels so much better. So we have one more segment. It's our little news segment, and we'll get you out of here. So here we go. So this news story is a little old, but it's from February. But I just find it hilarious. I think Ellen might have sent this to me too. I can't remember who sent this to me, but doctors are warning people not to put frozen potatoes in their anus. Reads the headline. Now you would think that like it is exactly. I read this. I'm like, this is a joke, right? No, this is fucking serious. Doctors have been warning issues about people putting frozen potatoes in their ass. The reason being, this comes from a newspaper in Wales, so this is over in the UK. But I mean, people are they're cutting up potatoes, putting slices in the freezer and then sticking them there in their asshole to relieve issues from hemorrhoids.
Ooh, okay.
There was something they found online that said something to the effect that like the potatoes like help shrink the the frozen potatoes help shrink the your whatchamacallem?
Hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids, thank you. I had a brain fart for a second.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's just like...
As a hemorrhoid sufferer myself, and I've been very honest about my hemorrhoids on this podcast, no, that doesn't work. Doesn't work.
I mean, I just love the fact that people think this is like actual science. They're like, you know what? And like doctors are like, I mean, one doctor's like, I can't believe I have to fucking actually make it an announcement not to put frozen potatoes up your ass. He's like, how? It's like, it's 2020. Why am I doing this?
It sounds like it would feel nice and also be a little harmless, right? But I guess like otherwise, maybe not.
Yeah, they're just saying that like it's just something that's just not really. It's not gonna. They're like, drink plenty of fluids, maintain a fiber-rich diet, and try having regular warm baths to ease the itching and pain.
And then boil 2 potatoes, jam them in there. I prefer mashed potatoes.
Mashed
it's just a little easier to get in there.
Some chives on top, a little butter.
Freezing cold mashed potatoes and gravy slapped into my ass.
Oh God! Oh my God! Well, with that story, Jon Gabrus, thank you so much for being on our show, man.
Are you kidding? Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes.
This was a blast.
You are welcome. Anytime you have any thoughts or just random musings about taking poops, send it to us. We'll play it on the show.
Nice to meet you, Stag. What a pleasure.
Nice meeting you too.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And where can people find you?
I'm at Gabrus, Gabrus, on all social media. And you can listen to my podcast, High and Mighty with Jon Gabrus, or Action Boys, which is a paid podcast, but we have a bunch of free episodes if you go to actionboyswithaz.biz.
I like that Z. I like that Z. Nice. But thanks again for being on the show, and stay safe out there, man.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Happy pooping, everybody, and toot, toot, toot.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect 4 Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen, with executive producer Stormy Leather. Edited by me, Dave.
For more information, go to heypoopypodcast.com for episodes, merch, and more. Follow us on Instagram at heypoopypodcast and Twitter at heypoopy. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy.